Hi, welcome to Write More Light. My name is Sarah. This is my friend Crunchy, and we are here to give you a web series called Write More Light. If you're unfamiliar with the show, what we do is once a week I give an itty bitty writing lesson on some aspect of writing, and once a week I get to hang out with a really cool person who exists in the arts. Following today is an interview day. You're in luck. Following the interview, I'll give updates on the Midwest Writing Center and then leave you with a free write. So today we are meeting with the inimitable Kara Taghon, who owns our local indie bookstore, the Atlas Collective in downtown Moline, Illinois. She is also a poet, an activist, an all-around baddie, a dog mom, generally somebody you want to be around because you can be. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Kara. I feel like we have been long remiss for keeping you from the public.
I guess so.
That was
Yeah,
a sentence.
I feel wildly visible often, but we've had this on the books for a hot minute, and then we get to yapping, we get distracted. But today it's happening. It's finally happening. So very excited.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks for having me.
definitely not responsible for keeping you from the public, given that you own a book, which is public. Uh,
Yeah.
so to just jump in, shallow
Mm.
end, um, how did the bookstore come to exist?
I love to talk about this in a lot of different ways. My favorite thing to say most of the time is that it was a bug in me that just kept clawing away at me. Atlas specifically is, yes, a passion project. I'm very passionate about my books, and also we have coffee, so the two things go in tandem very well, and I wouldn't do one without the other. But Atlas was mostly a grief project. I lost my dad pretty suddenly, and that kind of shifted my worldview a little bit. I was like in school, kind of not really knowing what I wanted to do, and then he passed, and I was like, you know what? I just got to do the thing that I want to do while I'm young, take the risk now, and pick up my pieces later if I need to. And it has surprised me tenfold, and it continues to. But I like to also say that Atlas doesn't even belong to me anymore. It belongs to our community, and we are so lucky to have such a vibrant, incredible community. And the fact that I get to create that table for people to sit at is still cool every day, and I still don't know what to do with all those feelings that I have. So, yeah.
Um, excuse me. I know, and I'm gonna ask more detailed questions about the passion project. But I imagine that you dreamed of a bookstore long before you had one.
Yes, I was a voracious little reader.
Yeah,
Did
I
a
feel
lot
like
of, yeah.
a lot of us dreamed of a bookstore.
Yeah, I was an inside kid. I was a dancer and an inside kid. I didn't do sports. I don't do sports with balls. I don't do sports. So I was an inside, I was an inside girl. Um, I was a big Spiderwick Chronicles fan. Loved all fantasy stuff. All the things that I guess people my age were reading at a young age, I read for the first time in my 20s. I was also pretty sheltered. So, um, yeah, I was a voracious reader for sure, and escapism and all those things. So,
That's
yeah.
always that's always an answer when and if somebody asks me how or why I started reading, how or why I started writing. Like I was a lonely child.
I had brothers, but like they didn't want to hang out with me at the time. I was eldest girl, only girl, middle kid too. So all the trifecta of like black sheep. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
have a wonderful sister, but she was older than me. She had things to do.
she
Also,
friends, whatever.
she's the reason I started reading, really. I just
Yeah,
discovered escapism later.
perfect.
So you call it a passion project. It is not just because you love books.
No.
Can you speak to what the passion is that went into this?
Yeah,
What is the
we
passion? What is the project?
let me plug in our episode title, Third Space, briefly here. Atlas, while it is a bookstore and a coffee shop, those two things, in my opinion, come secondary to the third thing, which is Atlas has always been and started as a third space. That came before wanting the books and the coffee. I just wanted community space where people of a lot of walks of life can get together and find people. Because I'm a Quad City transplant. I'm not from here. I'm from the Chicagoland. So when I came here, I was itching for some community, and we have some brilliant community spaces. I'm not discounting that. I just knew that I wanted something. I knew I had the spoons to create it, and to put all the things in the same pot filled a cup in me that I didn't know was empty, and it continues to. So the passion lies in reaching people and providing space where there are no expectations and you can just sit and be. And that is, I guess, the definition of a third space is a place that's not your house and a place that's not your work. Things, the lists of all the things you have to do, those can just fall by the wayside and you can just sit and read a book. What a joy, what a gift it is to do that. So getting to watch people kind of come into Atlas and take a visible breath. I can watch the shoulders shimmy down. That is healing for me in a way. I grew up in a tumultuous home with a very traumatic childhood, so I didn't have a lot of spaces where I could take a breath and relax. And the places that I did go were the library. So that's where I could take my breath. And I kind of went back to that as I was building Atlas, trying to list out all the places that gave me peace. And I still visit the library and I still sit there, and that's where I get my quiet time because Atlas doesn't translate to me now as quiet time. It's like I go in there and then I have a list of expectations. So I'm almost looking for a fourth space to my third space. But I'm trying to figure out how to reframe that and sit in my own space and appreciate what I've built. But getting to watch people appreciate what's there and meet new people through the teeny tiny space that I have is just life-changing in so many ways. And I used to be speechless about it, and now I can finally put words to it, and that's really cool. Oof. Yeah, so, that's that. I hope that answered the passion question. I have it. It's like hot fire that sits in my chest, and I just want to, especially now with the gestures broadly to all things.
Yeah.
The passion is there, and it is hot. So we're just figuring out what else we can do to make things comfortable, but still have a little bit of edge and action at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I never thought of this before, but it's I guess okay, when I think of bookstores, I don't do what I'm about to say, but I grew up, with well, first with the Walden Books and then a Borders and then a Barnes and Noble.
Borders.
Uh
Borders.
and I love a bookstore, just period.
Yeah.
But what you have there for folks who have not been to the Atlas Collective, you're walking into your buddy's living room. It's not it's not a book factory with some stools.
Yeah. It's all my stuff. It's yeah, to say in honesty it is. I'd like to tell people that's all my art on the wall from my house. My walls are bare. These are my chairs from my sitting room. They're here now. You are literally walking into my house, and it is a reflection of my soul and my heart, truly. And people like to say it's expertly curated and decorated, and I don't take any stock in being an interior designer of any kind. I just do what makes myself feel good, and it makes everybody else feel good, and that is so cool. And maybe I should have a side gig on top of with the remaining time I have, of course.
Yeah, you have a lot of
But
freedom.
yeah, it is kind of it's like a big hug, and I like to talk about that. You're walking in, and with the visible breath that people take, and I can watch them settle. Just watching people be comfortable. You are coming into my house. Like I said, it's consumables and books, but we have comfy seating, we have cafe seating, we have a myriad of different types of accommodating furniture. So you find where you fit best, and we'll do the rest. So
Well, that was a really great tagline. You find where you fit
thanks.
best. We'll do that.
Yeah, and it rhymed. Who am I?
Well, I wanted to mention the coziness of it, because when you're talking about having a third space, you're talking about having a safe place, you're talking about having somewhere where there are no expectations of you. Being able
Mm,
to relax into a couch,
mm.
I don't I don't expect that. And that's why I mentioned it.
Well, thank you. I love to talk about that.
Uh, so now we have learned how you fell in love with books, which is they were your friends and you were an
Yeah,
indoor child.
yeah.
Uh, it's funny. I read outside. I did.
I went under some trees. I had a forest reserve as a backyard, so I did that too. But I
I
was close to home. I was close.
I I was gonna be like I was an indoor kid too, and then I was thinking about my childhood, and I was like, I mean, I didn't do outside activities outside.
Oh no, 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 no. I'm not built for
Uh,
that. Have you looked at me? I'm built for winter. I'm not built for outside summer. No, no.
uh, I am. Um,
Yeah, you have that nice olive to you. I'm sure.
so we know how you fell in love with books.
Yeah.
But as you grew up, they were less probably they were less your best friend. They were less escapism. They grew into I'm not trying to lead you. I'm trying to make a segue.
You're killing
Uh,
it.
books I think as one grows, you step back a little bit and you see how books function in the world. So,
Mm-hmm.
per you, why do books matter?
Oh my god.
And you're like, I have a bookstore. Obviously, I think books matter.
Wait, the opening of all the doors. That's like such a. Let me fixate on that a little bit. Let me backpedal and tell you how my book journey kind of morphed as a teen slash adult slash student. So I don't know if I've ever told you this. I have a degree in anatomy and like lab sciences. So the books I read in my um, late teen into like a early adulthood, they were all very technical science art, like art as in like anatomical drawings and like detailed stuff. I almost said a word that I didn't want to say. So the books that I read were not escapism; they were purely academic, and I find so much joy in that still. I find joy in reading no matter what genre I find myself in. And as an adult now, I actually hover in the nonfiction space quite often because of my experience, I guess. But books matter. Book, books matter, period. How do I get more specific? Let's just talk about content and like what is available now. And for anyone who doesn't really know about what I provide and the wares that I have, the limited wares that I sell, um, we are, it's a woman and queer owned space. So it's just me. My partner, Jordan, is a co owner as well, not in the store, but around. You see him around, but it's primarily woman owned. And a lot of the content I carry is, it's all hand selected. So a lot of feminist text, a lot of, well, the majority of our books are LGBTQ plus, like all the queer things. So we're intentional about what we carry because those things get hidden often, and watching all different ages of people find the content that we have, like even in the kids section, we're inclusive across the board. And looking at a child reading a book on pronouns and or consent or something like, and seeing them self-reflected in that, seeing yourself reflected in anything, especially a book, that is why it matters. You're supposed to be here. That I could get emotional about that if I keep going. But there are so many hidden pockets of, how do I finish that sentence without crying, Sarah?
I mean, listen, it wasn't meant to be an easy question.
Me
And so
too. Scoop and dump.
I do always feel a little bad when I'm like, why do you write? And people are like, I don't understand. I do, which is the same. Like that's what my answer would be. I'd be like, because what else? What else do?
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
and there's just no concise way to be like, well, books matter because
my
I mean,
brain wanted to start that sentence just like that, the way you said it. And I was
yeah,
like, I don't have an answer to that.
there's no, I mean,
Uh,
it's this. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Oof.
it's
Oof.
everything. It was a trick all along.
How dare you?
Uh,
See.
oh no, I misplaced my interview. Um, okay, so, um, you are not from here. You've talked a
No.
little bit about our beautiful community.
Oh, yes.
Um, how does that happen as a transplant? You're like, I'm in this new space. Let's
I
let's be community. I'm asking this in like sort of a, I don't know, anthropological way. Like I've lived a few places, and
yeah.
it's when I came home that I wanted to give to my community.
Hmm.
Not that I, didn't want to be and live and love the places I lived,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I have a decent answer to this, and it's a windy, twisty road. So yes, I'm not a Quad Cityan. I think that's what people like to say to me. That's what they're called, Quad Cityans. I'm from the Chicagoland. I'm from a south suburb called Tinley Park, which in my experience living in Tinley Park, it didn't serve me very well. I had a great education, and I referenced earlier I had like a strange traumatic childhood, so I was definitely popping around a lot of the suburbs as a young person, and I could never. There was no settling that happened in me. I was always like ready to go. Um, did a lot of things self sufficiently. I was in charge of myself often. So I have become very resilient, but always on edge. So where I grew up was not a place for me to. That's where the escapism and the reading came in. So like I didn't want to. I always had to pivot. So finding myself in the Quad Cities. I'm gonna fast forward a hair. I got my degree at NIU in DeKalb, which was an incredible experience. I loved it. I miss school. I love school. I miss school. Got my degree at NIU, and I was in band. So I taught color guard throughout the surrounding towns, kind of. So I taught in LaSalle, Peru for a little while. And then I wound up teaching at United Township High School in East Moline, where I met my now husband, Jordan, who had such a fondness for his community. He grew here. He grew up in East Moline, and getting to know him and to where we're at now, just watching and learning about him and his family and his friends and why the community mattered to him made it matter to me. And I always, even before I met Jordan here, I felt at home in the Quad Cities, and I didn't know why. I couldn't put a pin on it. It freaked me out. And when we got engaged and we're trying to decide where we wanted to live, I threw it out there. I was like, I'd love to live in the Quad Cities and be close to your family if that's what you want. And he was like, I never thought about that. I thought we would go back to, Cook County. I'm like, I'm actually good with that. They got enough. And I think we could do something here. So we moved to Moline. And that was around the time when I was finishing up school and my dad died. And then the shortness of life and the big thing hit me like a brick, and I almost became recluse. So I learned a lot about myself and the community in tandem, not knowing an iota, not knowing anything about the Quad Cities, anybody here. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anything. I was at home. It was me and my dog Atlas. Me and Atlas at home alone, learning about the new community we were living in and ourselves at the same time. And sidebar, I think that's kind of Atlas and I are soul mates. It's kind of where the Atlas name comes in. Boom, gotcha. But um, the Quad Cities has something special, and I'm able to now pinpoint it and hold it and know it. And before I didn't know. But now that I've established my roots and planted them here, there is no place I'd rather be. just getting to know all the people here, and um, my family's here. I moved my family here. So, um, yeah, Sarah, I don't actually remember what the question was. So I hope I hope that covered something. Now you know my deep darks.
Yeah.
So
No, I asked how one finds or makes and becomes
oh, makes
community
community in a
in good
community that's
ways.
not.
Yeah.
It is
I mean,
my
it is
community.
yours. It's obviously
I think it
yours.
always was, but even from the first time.
But I love I mean what you just gave us was a love story
Mm,
about I mean about place, but a love
yeah,
story. It's so beautiful. You don't get to we don't get to choose when or how that happens. We just gotta I don't know, have faith.
we roll with it. Is that what we do? We take it a chunk at a time. I don't know. I feel like this barreled out of like Atlas specifically barreled out of control so fast, and it's now this giant, beautiful thing that no longer belongs to me. And I now have nostalgia for it, like for the starting of it now that I didn't have before. So I like remember after my dad died and sitting in my house and like with my three notepads, a personal notepad, a work notepad, and like a house notepad, and like all the things that I want to accomplish while I'm like I wasn't employed. I quit my job. My dad died. I quit my job. I was like, I gotta do something here because I gotta figure something out. But I remember sitting here and making my business plan where I'm seated right now, sitting here, just thinking about what I wanted to do here and how I wanted to make change because I wanted to change too. And I wanted both things to exist at the same time. And they do, just in very different capacities, which I'm finding more and more every day. And that is still like I'm being thrown often. None of it bad, all of it new. And that's cool. Isn't that cool to have new things and like learn new nuggets about you that you didn't have before?
You really
So
said be
cool.
the change you want to see in the world.
Boom. What a time to be alive, am I right?
So what do you you've talked about your hopes as you start the shop, but what do you hope it does or is for people in the community? Or even long term. Maybe not right now, but long term.
I can answer both of those questions, I think. Um, I do want it to be a refuge for people, and I believe it is. I think that is where we're at now, is a place where people escape to be together. And that's awesome and beautiful. And in the future, because there is one, I'm stubborn, so we're not going anywhere. And I tell people that all the time. I prosper in place, but also there's this other thing, this green goblin in the back of my brain that's like, what else? What else? And it's growing. And between you and me and the internet now,
Mhm.
something is cooking in the Atlas sphere. So growth is inevitable, change is inevitable. And what I wish for the future of Atlas is to hold more young people. I just want to hand it off to capable young community members that can let their hearts and passions fall into it too. And like when I hire, because you know our team is so teeny, when I was hiring just recently, I was like, whoever I bring into this, I want everyone to have a stake. I want everyone to put something they love into it that we don't already have. So our newest hire, Celeste, she's very involved with the animal community. So she's a big reptile person, snakes, all the things, conservation, plants. Like we're going to do some new things on that end. So whoever this future that we have, if we will have a future, whatever it is, I want it to reflect um, more of our younger community members that have a fire in them too. Because I think I did what I wanted to do, and I feel really content with that. And I am so fine with kind of stepping back and watching it happen with the people that get the benefits out of it that I wanted people to get the benefits out of. that sentence makes sense? I'm not completely caffeinated, forgive me. But I feel myself more and more stepping into a like who's Kara rather than like I own this business and this business is so cool and I have this incredible community and so many things have happened and changed and so many people now know each other and it's this wide, wide web. And I was in that web for a minute and I'm okay with kind of untangling myself and letting the community make the space that it was meant to be. So that is our future. More young people, more community events, and people that aren't me putting something of themselves into it.
You know what's
So,
really, really beautiful about what you just said, and I don't know if you realize you said it, I think you do, uh,
are you sure?
is I mean what you said is like it's not well, I can't say it apparently. But listen, there's a cat trying to take my shirt off. So
I see that.
uh,
It's hard out here. Crunchy, please. We're in a meeting. Crunchy, please.
you are it's not about you. You said that the important thing is that the community has stake. You didn't say those exact words, but I think that's a really
It's
special,
true.
really important thing that I think all of us forget about. Like we have a mission and then we're like, and this is the mission. I'm gonna stick with the mission. But
Mm.
if you don't adapt, if you're not open, you're gonna leave the people you intend to serve behind. And
Yeah.
that's I don't know. I don't think that's super common. I didn't open that door. I'm right here. Um,
Yeah. I mean, the mission has ripples no matter what you do. You can have a primary mission, and that mission can exist and you can accomplish that. But think of the effects that the mission, like, there's aftershocks of that, and um, I'm so fine. Like, it was never for me. No, I've been saying that since day one. It was never for me, but I still want to find me in it. And finding me in it means me stepping back to maybe revisit as a member of that community rather than the person who created it and runs it. And I think there's a shift happening in me in that, but the future was always to hand it off to young people that care. I care. I'm young, but also I'm not the end all be all of anything. I'm just a girl
and I
who
think
had all the spoons at the right time.
where
So there you have it.
did they go? Um,
They're gone. We're
I
gone.
I think though, like the older we get, I don't know if this is necessarily based on my experience or like observations of the world or a little of both.
Yeah.
The more um the more we forget that like we're working to serve the future, right? And the future is not about us. I know I always think I'm right, and, and I can't imagine me being less stuck in my ways with although like I try to be flexible and open. Um, but yeah, keeping that in mind, keeping in mind that the future is not old people, the future is
No,
young people because
it is.
we're gonna get old before them.
Right. I my job is to lay foundation and I've known that and I've done that. The foundation is laid. There is a ripple effect that will occur and I don't have to be a part of that. I want to watch that happen. And I think that is cool as heck. Hard stop. And I know like historically speaking, until I opened Atlas, I have such rigidity in me. I'm a Taurus, and I'm sure I can be clocked any moment of any day. I'm so stubborn, and I
Anytime
am.
I've ever asked, when someone has asked me, I'll be like, "What do you think?" And they are always correct. Yeah.
Everyone guesses, and they're always right about me. It's like I was thrown Gemini by someone the other day, and I was like, "You slow down, you cool it." I am a cusp, though. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I am rigid, or I was rigid. There are aspects of me that are still there for sure. But I have learned to shake myself loose as I meet new people who are less rigid than me, and that just, shimmies it down. And I realized things don't actually need to be that, like, the stakes aren't that high, dude. It's my urgency versus importance pipeline in life and in work. And I don't know, things can just happen. I don't have to have control of those things despite what my body feels. And that's where the rigidity comes in. But it doesn't matter because we are learning and growing as the world is. So,
Yeah, I think we can be stubborn with and still be flexible. I don't think those are mutually exclusive at all. At least I'm telling myself that as I am stubbornly flexible.
yeah,
Uh,
can I take that and hold on to it too? Because I am, yes, I didn't say it was gone. It's there. It's under my, it's there. There's so much stubbornness in me.
One of my big goals this year was to be more like mentally flexible, and I think that I've done a good job of that given that I've never done it before.
You better give yourself those flowers. Yeah,
Um,
it's
okay,
hard.
so
Anyway,
you have a ton, and honestly, I have no idea how you do it with such a small staff, uh, of events that happen all the time, especially after hours.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
I would love to know, um, about that.
all of them.
More specifically, but yeah, how do you how do you end up with events? How do you will say what criteria for partnerships might you have?
Mm.
Yeah, because I imagine you see somebody who's like, man, I sure hate plants, and you're like, this might not be your spot, buddy.
Get out. I'm just kidding. Would never say that. As far as, oh god, our events, that's when our real community work happens. I feel like is after hours when the doors close and those people can be together. I mean, it happens organically during the day too, but our targeted events in the evening are really special to us. So we do, um, right now we're doing 2 book clubs a month. We've been doing that since we opened. We're probably going to taper off and do one a month and add an additional community event to replace that second book club. We do a lot of, we're getting ready for our second terrarium night, so we do that kind of stuff. We've done silent craft night. We are starting an empowering health series with Athletico this month where we're talking about joint health, and then the next month we talk about mental health and then nutrition. So it's like I'm pulling in all the things that I'm passionate about that I didn't get to touch in my degree and pulling them into Atlas, which is kind of fun. And um, everyone should take care of their body, especially now. Everything is really hot and heavy and not in a good way. Um, Other things after hours, we do a lot with the project, who is our local gender affirming care and a myriad of other resources hub. We do a lot with them after hours. We've done book clubs. We've had so many parties together. We've done so many things. We have author readings, not as many as I'd like, but we had to start somewhere. So this next year, I'm going to kind of go bananas on that. So more author readings and signings and things, and we're plugging them in where we can. But we're all stretched a little. I'm definitely stretched a little, but that's where we have the most fun. Um, I don't know, Sarah, what else have we done? We're about to do blood typing with Impact Life for Halloween. That's going to be really fun. So we're doing like a little vampire event. Spoiler alert, that's coming in the Halloween time. A little party, a little blood typing event. Talk about um, preventative care and stuff, taking care of yourself. Um, we do a lot with Augie as well after hours. We've done game nights with them. I pop over to Augie sometimes and help out with their gender and inclusivity department, and that's a lot of fun. Um, I don't know. I feel like I've scratched the surface of our events. I can't. Oof. We do a lot. Hard stop. We do a lot. We try to take our cues from the community too, which is first and foremost. So we are trying out a lot of new things in August and September specifically, but we've kind of just thrown things at the wall and saw what stuck, and now we're kind of curating it a little better. But those after hours events are really special. So yeah.
You know, obviously I love this community mindedness. but I can't imagine there's anyone in the world who would be like, who would think for a second that the Atlas Collective exists without Kara. Um, that's for you to know. It's not a
It
question.
would. It would. I have such good people. I'm
Uh,
not there right now, and it's. I don't. I'm thinking about it. I never stop thinking about it. Like I'm one of those crazy people that like wakes up at 3 a.m. with an idea and has to like put it in my notes app for my business. But the people that are in the building make Atlas special, and yeah, I love. Obviously, I love it. It's my heart. I love being there, and people do look for me often. But yeah, love you. I don't think I'm integral to the machine anymore. I made the machine runs, and I'm trying to go in there more and enjoy it and not be on every moment of every day, which is hard and not possible quite yet. But this is me trying. I'm at home and I'm yapping about something I care about. So that's nice and restorative.
in in thinking about story and thinking about this is a little bit of a swerve, but I got to get my story content in. Um, when thinking about story, when thinking about the stories we tell ourselves, the stories that make us, um,
Mm.
how do you how do you imagine fitting into? How do you imagine?
I'm nervous about this question.
How do you imagine this? The importance of story. Well, maybe you don't think story is important, but let's assume you do. How do
I
you
do. I do.
how do you imagine the story of this place and the way that we build our stories happening in this space?
Oof.
You know,
I
just some light thought candy. Thought candy?
thought candy. I like that. Um, Oh, this is so hard. So I actually wrote a little story before Atlas opened, sitting in the bank parking lot after I got denied funding for my business. That was awesome. But I pulled out my notebook and I wrote about where I wanted to be the following year, this day, this time, what I wanted to be looking at that time, and I wrote it out. It was something about like I'm sitting in my car, book club is happening in the store, the lights are dim. Like I explain, like I set the scene for you, and I talk about like my team is in there. I can take a breath. They're handling it. There's people laughing. There's people sitting at tables. They're drinking coffee. Like it's beautiful. And at that time that I wrote that, it was not, I couldn't touch that. There was no touching that. That was pipe dream thing. And that day, sitting in that parking lot, that was the second bank I went to, and I got denied for funding. So I was like, yeah, this is whatever. I'm just going to write this out and get all my feelings out so I can move on to the next thing, which was calling my accountant and talking about, all the hard things. Um, and I folded it up. I wrote a date on it. Open this on such and such day. Who knows? Um, when I opened that this year, I think, no, time's not real. I think I opened it last year. Because, yeah, I'm ahead. I opened it last year. I like openly wept, and um, couldn't believe that. But when I think about what other people um, will think about this in the future, if it's no longer there, um, I want them to look back on it and be like, oh, I met my best friend there, or like, oh God, that place was great for this and this, or like, oh, I went to a book club and I got to be vulnerable and talk about this hard thing and someone connected with me, and like that's major. And like I want that. I want it to be warm. That's what I want from people when they think about Atlas and what it was and what it can be. Um, and I think that's a pretty solid answer, but there are so many stories that are woven into that community, and then mine alone. Um, it's emotional, especially now. I opened at such a hard time. I opened in January. Disgusting. Word to the wise: don't do that. Don't open your business in January, guys. Just don't. Um, but we were celebrated so generously in January when we opened, and then for our anniversary, it was unheard of the support that we received. Um, I don't know. I opened it. I think my timing was pretty spot on, and that was luck. That was luck. And I am so happy to be where I am, doing what I'm doing at the time I'm doing it. And I could write a book about that. Maybe I will. I don't know. Who's to say? I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. I should have said this at the beginning. I really, really, really love interviewing people. And it has been such that I've interviewed strangers many times on this series. Um, but I like to say how I know people if I know them just. When I found out the Atlas Collective existed, I emailed Kara from the Midwest Writing Center and said, "Hey, I work for a literary arts nonprofit. We should probably meet." Obviously, we fell madly in love because look at
We're
her.
together now.
Um,
That's nothing we can do.
but that's how that happened. It's not we we didn't yeah we met on purpose because we had similar missions. And it's you know in our mission toward bright and a bright community that things can happen.
Hmm.
I didn't really have an end for this. I was just like, oh, I should have said how we met at the beginning.
No, I remember the day I met you. That was one of my. I think about that day a lot.
I do
We.
too. We took a
It just
little
felt
walk.
like I was coming home to someone that I knew a long time ago, and that was immediate for us. Which, what a gift that is. Um, we walked around the building a couple times and just talked about our hearts and who we were, and then just like stupid stuff.
Which I have to say, as far as meetings go,
That was like pretty spectacular. Core
it's a
memory
work
right there.
event.
Build is a work of art. Um, Outstanding. And I'm so glad you walked in the door because I don't know your support, you specifically as a human being, and then the Midwest Writing Center support as well. I don't know where I'd be without you guys. I'm just so grateful.
I love you so much.
We love you too.
But that is to say, like friends here in the world who are watching, um, if you know about stuff, tell people. It took me, what, like 6 months to find out this bookstore existed in my
Yeah,
town?
took you a minute.
Y'all
Where
gotta
were you,
tell
dog?
me. Y'all gotta tell each other. It was working.
I am so busy.
I had so many jobs. Uh,
Working girl.
um, yeah. So, I figured at the least, anytime I'm gonna interact with a bookstore, I'm gonna be like, hey, we love books. Story. I say story, and what I mean is really anything to do with expression. If you may not know this, but someone out there knows we've had let me just put a headband in while I talk. We've had, ceramicists on, we've had dancers on, we've had opera singers on, um, because it's all acts of expression are a creative act, right? I'm not ever trying to, I often use the word art and I mean writing. I often talk about story and I mean any art.
Mm.
Uh, Anytime I interact with someone in the book world, that's, kind of my opening. And then I have to be like, okay, well, also, just in case you don't care about that, we publish books. Um, but to have something in our community that is so, our tagline is write more light into your life. Um, I have somebody who is also so interested in creating that light in our community is really, really special. I didn't
Mm,
mean to just like sell you as a person. I just got
yeah.
on
I'm like
track
clamming right now. What are you doing to me?
there.
Thank you.
I'm not watching the time at all.
I'm not either.
Is is there anything you wanna tell folks about your work, about
Mm.
oh gosh, nope, we're gonna rewind. I wanted to ask you if you had any book recs.
Book Rex.
Yeah.
Plenty.
We'll say a couple fiction, couple nonfiction, couple poetry.
Mm.
Ooh, I see a $2 radio back there.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And or
What can I grab
of
for
your
you?
specific because of your
Uh,
specific expertise, perhaps, if you know how to find exciting new things to read.
I have a place where you can go if you're looking for an exciting new read.
Is it the bookstore?
801 Fifth Avenue, uh, Moline,
Yes.
Illinois, the Atlas Collective. I'm going to give you, okay, so I'm doing the Sealy Challenge for the first time in my life right now. It's intimidating. I write some poetry, it's mid, it's mostly for me, but I'm doing this to challenge myself and challenge how I write and how I structure. And I'm very excited to talk about that and a couple of my favorite poetry books, some Rex, Space Struck by Paige Lewis, top tier, one of my favorites of all time. I've read it 8,000 times. I cry each time. We carry that at Atlas. If you want it, and for some reason I don't have it, which is not often, we can order that for you. Secondly, I just finished, we were just talking about this before we started, Mountain Amnesia by Gail Marie Thompson. Is that correct? Okay, holy
We
cow.
had for folks in the know, we had Gail teach at the conference a couple years ago. So like get involved
Okay,
and you'll make great poetry.
Gail. Gail scooped me out, splatted me on the concrete, and smeared me around. Um, what a, oh my God, just like so, I felt like I was living in it. Oh my God. Anyway, I can't talk about that, but evokes something in my chest immediately. So good. Thank you, Gail. I hope maybe someday Gail will see this. Doesn't matter. Whatever, it's fine. Two of my, oh, ooh, I've read some really good horror lately. It's poetry and horror for me.
Beautiful.
Two extremes, whatever. Um, I recently finished This Is My Body by Lindsay King Miller, which is a queer possession horror, some religious trauma ups and downs. Well written, beautiful, chef's kiss. Um, I also, man, I'm never gonna stop talking about this book. Tana Nareve Do, The Reformatory, an outstanding historical horror about a boy at a reform school in the 50s. Ghosts. That's just that's how I market it to people. Ghosts, restore, like just spooky, haunted. Don't you like a ghost? Um, and then my last, I don't know what category it ever falls in, what genre it falls in, but it's something that is beloved to me. Women holding things, and Sarah and I have talked about this book a lot. We had a very similar finding of this book in life,
Yeah.
parallel. It's so bizarre. Myra Coleman, just beautiful art and I don't know, Sarah, how would you describe that book?
Myra Coleman is the greatest. Uh,
Yes, top tier.
Folks who don't know Myra Coleman, she is an illustrator. Her illustrations are paintings.
Just
Uh,
gorgeous. I'll pull it out.
she has a lot of actually picture books in the world, but she also has these incredible art books that sort of have little vignette stories in them.
I was reading it recently.
I found her, ugh, I love it. I have her book about America, which is really
Mm.
fantastic. I can't remember what it's called.
I this it's this one and then the principles of uncertainty that like those are my top two.
I have a lot of her collaborations. This is how I found her with Daniel Handler. Daniel Handler, you may know as Lemony Snicket,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they together did Women Standing on Lawns. And what's the other one? It's like People Waiting for Things, something like that. But
That
she
was really good.
illustrated one of my favorite books of his, just one of my favorite books. It's a YA book. It's an epistolary, so it's a Dear John letter. The whole thing. It, and she illustrated this book, so it's really fantastic. It's called Why We Broke Up, and there's
Mm.
actually I don't know if the website still is still live or anything, but the Why We Broke Up project is really fun. Even like the back of the book, all the blurbs on the back of the book are famous people's breakup stories.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when the book came out, they were on tour together, and I loved him. My One of the most special books in the world to me is called Adverbs by Daniel Handler.
Mm.
So after that, I just started touching everything he read or wrote, rather. Um, and he said something really funny on that tour. He was like, when I tell people I'm writing a book about a breakup, everybody tells me their breakup stories. But when I
Mm.
told people I was writing about the terrible things that happened to an orphaned family of children, nobody wanted to talk to me at all. So good. Anyway, love Myra Coleman. Um,
Yes. Okay.
I don't believe in genre delineations really. I've got a whole video where
Everything
we fight
happens.
with poet Emily Kingery about it. Um,
Mm.
I'll keep
Well,
it.
Emily's book I read recently too. Invasives.
Mhm.
Met them on Sunday, actually, at my store.
Oh, okay.
And
How's it?
now we sell it. So there you have
Makes
it.
sense. I mean, yeah. But, but I didn't hand it to you. Who did? Emily. Emily
Elena.
did. Oh, Elena. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emily Kingery was the president of the Midwest Reading Center board for a while, but she's a professor of English at St. Ambrose and is a lovely poet. We hosted the release party for that book, which
Oh,
is Invasives. That's what it's called. I kept
yeah.
wanting to say Invectives, which is not what it is.
No, different.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Invasive.
Emily's so sweet and a Swiftie, if that matters to you.
I found that out actually. So that's awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting her on Sunday and her husband, and um, they had cold brew, and we talked about poetry, and then she handed me her book, and that's how things happen. That's how community's made. Okay, someone gifts me a book, I go, I'm gonna find. Well, okay. Here's the thing about Emily, though. I was gifted the book. I said, perfect. I'm doing the Sealy challenge that day. Unbeknownst to Emily, Emily emails me and goes, "Hello, Kara. I'm Emily. I have this book. This book here. I could sell it in your store." And I go, "That's crazy, Emily. Someone just gave me your book today. Who's listening in on my conversations?
Apparently,
Who's there?
Emily.
Who's doing that?" I loved it. It didn't matter. The
Actually,
universe
probably Elena, now that we've put that all together.
sneaky. Yeah, so that was so cool. We have a really good collection of local authors in the shop, so I just love it. Okay, I love so many things. It's overwhelming. Thank you. That's the end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm never gonna let this video end.
This is the longest podcast in the world. I don't think anyone's gonna want to hear me talk this long.
Well, I just discovered TikTok. So
Oh, uh-oh.
follow us, MWCQC. We have two videos.
I'd be a really great video for TikTok.
Yeah, this is
I'm
gonna get cut
charismatic.
up once I figure out how to do that.
uh,
It'll just be your head moving though.
this.
Yeah,
Oh God, something is moving at like a rattle. Am I old?
you're
Oh
getting there,
no,
babe. You're getting
no,
there.
no.
Wait until what's just happening to me. I thought it was just like a some people thing, not an age thing.
Oh,
Even if I don't fall asleep at night, I still wake up early.
boo,
Yeah, right.
boo, dude.
Um, okay, you gave it Rex. Um, do you have any other we'll say third spaces or like art spots that you want to shout out? I should have told you I was going to ask that question.
Yeah, this is always a hard one for me too because there's so many, and I could get really long-winded.
Let's not we
Um,
don't want to leave anybody out.
well, how about I pick two that I love very dearly? I'm going to give it in person and an online. How about that
Hmm.
for some accessible things? If you're looking for sweet tidbits, like stickers or like notebooks or things of that nature, stickers, buttons, pins, trinket oriented people, this is for you. Outlet Orion is a
Yeah,
great place to shop
I
online.
should have Kasha on. That'd be great.
Yeah, Kasha would be great for this podcast. Kasha, sweet, 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 sweet summer angel. Very, very talented. Also, in person shopping over in Bettendorf for more of the same thing, trinket oriented, local art, small art, independent artists, yada yada. Color Market QC over in Bettendorf, owned by my friend Kylie, who's also Brightbat on the internet. If anyone knows about Brightbat's work, you can find them on Hot Topic and a myriad of other places. Kylie is local to us in the Quad Cities and owns Color Market QC, also has an art club. Very, 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 very special human to me and deserves all the support in the world. Thank you. Those are my two things. I hope
Perfect.
that was sufficient.
Just thinking I should just do like I'm gonna start a blog or something.
Good. You'd be perfect for it.
Where's the time, Kara?
Mm, it's like almost 1 o'clock, Sarah.
Oh shit.
I
Uh,
know.
Pardon my French, everyone. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this episode end.
I think
Uh,
we covered it.
but instead of giving you an awkward next month full of things to keep in mind for upcoming events with the Midwest Writing Center, I'm going to tell you about collaborations that are coming up with the Atlas
Collaboration.
Collective. We're going to be there on September 20th, supporting a book, an author reading book signing. Do you want to tell us about that?
September 20th. Oh, Wolf, right? My
No,
dates are mixed up.
yeah, Wolf is this week.
Oh my God. Yes, that's Friday. Sorry, I've been mixing August and September together now
This is
because
going to air after Wolf's release party, but we do love Wolf. Wolf is a professor at Augustana and a author in their own right. And they, once you see this, they will have just had a book come out
oh yeah.
about living intersex and religion.
Yeah.
Wolf is a religion teacher at Augustana
Yeah, theology and
and
all.
and
Oof,
a queer activist and a wonderful person.
coolest. One of the coolest people I know in the world.
And so they will be on the show soon. Let's call them up.
Yeah, no, they'd be good for this too. You said September 20th. Can you tell us what's going on that day?
You got an author reading coming into town for the release of his novel. I didn't want to say it.
Adam!
I can't remember its name.
Adam! More hell! My calendars are not synced up. I have a physical and 3 Google calendars. I cannot be in charge of anything. Adam Sergani, his book called More Hell comes out. The release is August 22nd in Rockford at Maze Books. He's doing an event there, but he will be at Atlas on September 20th doing a reading, a signing, and we will hopefully have some other readers there as well.
Well,
Sarah,
the Midwest Writing
and
Center is
yeah.
collaborating on that. I'm really excited. I think I've got everything confirmed on my end, but will not announce that. Still, this book, More Hell, is in the press that I really, really love called Whiskey Tit, so I'm personally excited to read it.
Mm.
And I know that you're gonna have a poet there, and I'm gonna provide a prose writer, and we're gonna have a really great night on September 20th. Then
Mm.
on cat stuff. Then on October 3rd, we've got a big
Mm.
celebration with Tatiana Schlody Bonet at the Atlas Collective, which, again, the Midwest Writing Center is going to be a supporting character there. We love Tatiana Schlody Bonet. She'll be on Write More Light in September in advance of that book release to talk about that book release.
Outstanding news.
But if you are curious in the meantime, she's been on before. She talks a lot about, I mean, in promotion of her debut novel, Such Lovely Skin, she talked a lot about the like how to write a novel.
Yeah,
Which is it's right directly above your
it is above my head.
ear. I'm
Thank
impressed
you.
I
That's
recognize
lovely
it
skin. Thank
because
you.
I don't have a hardcover, so it looks different.
Yeah. Oh no, this hardcover, it's
Oh,
signed.
show the inside cover.
I am,
Great.
Sarah. Of course.
I don't have a
Gorge.
hardcover. I'm really upset about it now.
Should. The hardcover is beautiful. Also, it came with this gorgeous bookmark. Thank you, Tatiana. Miss you dearly. Yeah, I know. And she signed it in blue, like the color of her book. Get real. Okay. Also, The Mean Ones, folks, that book, Midsummer, and we talk about Yellow Jackets, the merging of the two. Spooky. Spooky, weird cult stuff.
I haven't read it yet, and now I'm already
Oh,
upset.
it is
So,
so good. It's so good. She knocked it out of the park for sure.
these are horror books, by the way.
Yes, of course.
Tatiana Shaleti Bonet writes horror. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, those are our upcoming collabs. Of course,
We
if
have
you have
another one at the
any.
end of the month. We have a reader coming in.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we do. Um,
Yeah.
August 30th. Oh my goodness. This is
Yeah.
like my job. Um, Come to the Atlas Collective, 4 p.m. Our winner of the Great River Writers Retreat,
Mm.
Stella Joyce Crawl, will be reading from the project that she's here to work on and talk about being a writer in residence, talk about her other novels and her writing process and all that. And that'll be really great, totally free. I think all these events are free and open to the public. But
Yeah. Every single one. So,
so please come hang out with us. Come join us. And
yeah.
then for
Pre-order Tatiana's book as well. You can pre-order that book from the Atlas Collective if you'd like to.
hell yeah. Um,
Adam's book is available on Whiskey Tit. You can order it from Whiskey Tit, or we'll have copies of his book available at Atlas that day too.
Excellente.
Yeah.
Um, Now to close up, of course, thank you so much, Kara, for letting me totally co-opt your day again.
Love
Um,
it. Thank you for letting me be here.
uh, Thank you also for giving us this wonderful space in our community.
Mm.
For today's writing prompt, if you can, if you've got it, please do yourself a favor, set 5, 10 minutes on your timer, whatever you can afford. Write whatever comes out. Doesn't matter if it's poetry, prose, a journal, fiction, nonfiction, doesn't matter. Let what comes come. Um, and today's prompt, sorry, this cat is being really cute. Uh, today's prompt is just the word. Oh, nope, it's more than one word. So
Mm.
it's right here, and I have notes on it, and I'm confusing myself. Um, Community. There you are. 5, 10 minutes, write what comes on community. Um, Thanks as always for tuning in, and please write more light into your life.